The 76ers are now a perfect and undefeated in games in which Harden and Embiid have played together since joining forces. They haven't exactly faced the best teams in the league. Timberwolves once, Knicks twice, the Cavaliers are still pretty young, and the Bulls have sort of lost their mojo with their plague of injuries. But they didn't just win those games, they dominated them by an average margin of 16 points. Harden's numbers in those games, 24, while Embiid is adding 32 points per game and putting the league on notice that he is an MVP candidate. Both superstars are shooting over 50% from the field. More than those numbers, it's how Harden and Embiid have looked together that should terrify the rest of the league. But let's take a closer look. As expected, going up against two of the most dominant one-on-one scorers in the league is, not that fun. Harden has been picking defenders apart on an island at a rate nobody can match for a while now. Embiid, meanwhile, is by far and away the most dominant post scorer in the league, capable of overpowering opponents with his brute strength on one possession and following it up with a Michael Jordan-esque jumper. The two have run a ton of pick and rolls together also. There are very few teams in the league that have the personnel to defend both Harden and Embiid. Even if they do, one switch puts them at risk of one of them getting a mismatch. Their two-man game is also by far killer. As many have mentioned since the blockbuster trade, Harden spent most of his career playing next to athletic bigs who rim run and play above the basket. No back-to-the-basket bullies like Embiid. Not only that, but Embiid has never been a big pick-and-roll player. He's always preferred that pop and roll, raising questions about whether or not they could get on the same page. It hasn't taken long to put those concerns to rest. Harden and Embiid pick and rolls are going to be a nightmare to defend night in and night out. Play them traditionally by having the opposing big drop to the paint, and it opens the door for Harden to attack downhill, get to his floater, or walk into a three-point shot. Both Harden and Embiid will pick up the pace. Last season, only two teams averaged more fast break points per game than the 76ers. Before acquiring James Harden, 13 teams were ahead of the 76ers in that category, which shouldn't come as a huge surprise considering Philadelphia was without Ben Simmons, who is one of the best transition players in the league. You know who else is among the best transition scorers in the league? Yeah, you guessed it, James Harden. Harden and Simmons don't operate in quite the same way in the open court. Simmons plays with more speed, whereas Harden is a bit more methodical. But Harden will still push the ball from one end of the court to the other himself, and he's not afraid to make go-ahead passes. We're still in the honeymoon period, and the 76ers will face much stiffer competition in the weeks and months to come. But the Harden and Embiid pairing is off to a good start, and anyone could have expected? Not really. All eyes will be on Philly's defense, while going from Simmons to Harden is an upgrade offensively, but it's a downgrade defensively. They haven't run into any issues yet, but it will be interesting to see how they hold up on nights where the points aren't flowing as easily.